So I guess there are two Pogonomyrmex rugosus colonies fighting against each other. Most of them are not really aggressive, but they just see whether, the other one is of their own colony, and if not, then they are suspicious. But sometimes they also fight, like here they do. Then they try to sting the other ant so that it dies. For this week I thought I would mix it a little up and not show you around while I was doing it, but sort of narrate it and show you some pictures. Yeah, the real reason is that I don't really have the time to edit this vlog, also because my computer is still very slow. By the next vlog or so I will again be able to edit these in a timely manner. And yeah, finally I got a little more to do for teaching and research and classes. So I had my first, but you will see that. This week I mainly focused on improving the setup. So I covered the floor of this arena with some white paper, and I gave me some tips in order to increase the contrast against the black ants. I also got it to work that the camera saves directly to an external hard drive and not to an SD card, because in the latter case it would only film for 20 minutes at a time. I also increased the rigidness of this construction here with my awesome German engineering skills, and I made the second film for test purposes. Hello Aubrey. And yeah. The way I deal with food is that once a week I cook a really huge amount of it, and then I would freeze it into small portions that I can reheat, and then I will eat that thing for the whole week. So this week I had a Mexican style wrap with rice and chicken and vegetables. For the next week an Indian style sweet sort of curry chicken. So this saves me a lot of time because I only cook for 1 hour or 1.5 hours a week. So you could almost say that I live paleo, even though I don't really buy into the philosophy behind that, but it is probably good for your health. Another benefit is that it is super cheap, at least the way that I cook my meals. So I don't spend more than $20–25 a week on food, like in total, plus some, nuts and fruit. And yeah, it tastes pretty good. So what more do I want? It also saves me from the decision making of, what am I gonna eat today and tomorrow and for lunch and dinner. I don't have to care about it anymore for the next week. I currently have 3 different meals, maybe I will expand on that. So far I don't really crave any more variety in my meal plan. Soy estudiante de biología y mi madre es ama de casa y trabaja en tienda de recuerdos. Bumblebee nest. A brush is probably the best tool to pick up ants, because you can just pick them up like this and they don't get hurt. So what I'm doing here is I make my arena cockroach proof. So this is a sort of water moat that they just can't crawl up to, because I had the problem that there were cockroaches in my arena overnight, and now that problem is solved. The number one problem though I had was that I still didn't have an automatic tracking program. One of the tracking programs I tried was A, very slow, and B, it always spat out some errors and crashed. And the other software was not an automatic but a manual tracker. But I also didn't get that to run yet because of problems of converting videos into other files. The number 2 problem though is that my ants kept dying a lot in the arena when they were out overnight, and I didn't know why. So this will be solved in the next episode of this thriller. These are very young colonies of carpenter ants of queens that Greg has caught earlier this summer, and we have quite a lot of them. So we will probably use them for some comparative or long-term study with these ants.
The stash of coca candy straight from Japan, hologram, and she was never else there. Think you know what I need to get by.
I also wanted to try out a method of permanently marking individual ants with such a wire, and you can see that it is a very delicate thing to do, because you have to make a loop with a very tiny wire. Finger for comparison. And then you have to gently grab an ant, place it into such a makeup sponge and put it under CO2 to anesthetize it. And this is what you see under the microscope, where you can just harness this ant with the wire and yeah, clip off the end of the wires, and then the ant has a nice little wire ring around its petiole, so the connecting things between the gaster and the thorax, even though it's not the thorax.
Think you know what I need to get by. Something for your mind.
It's Friday, 8 in the morning, and my TA class will write an exam today. The first of 2, I think. And a few minutes ago I just got a text by Anna saying that she's sick and she can't come in today. So I'm gonna give this exam all by myself. But before I have to update the exam and print it and staple it. Wait, this? Yes. I'm glad it worked. Yeah, it didn't work quite that well, because I wanted to have 69 copies of 4 pages of the test, and what the printer gave me was 69 pages in total, so only a quarter of all the tests that I wanted. 5 minutes until my next class, my first class, then 10 minutes until the exam begins. So this led to some confusion when I handed out only the copies that I had, because I was oblivious to the fact that it weren't enough. So a quarter of the class has already seen the test then, so I couldn't go away and copy some more. So I didn't really know what to do. And about 10-15 minutes later, I just projected the questions to the wall, and then the students could write the tests on their own papers, and that was okay. But still, students were not happy with having less time. The fact that the stapler didn't work was then the smallest problem.
Symmetric to the asymmetric, predicting that the asymmetric will account for more of the variance in the distribution of architectures.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Anna unfortunately is sick today, so I have the pleasure of doing this all on my own.
Something for your mind.
Today, however, I will take you with me. Because shortly I will meet up with a bunch of people, and then we are going to go on an adventure. Sarah has invited me to join her for this team bonding day that was organized by her grant giver. So she got a grant and doesn't have to TA.
I'm a little, I didn't even sign the camera release.
And she said that we will go to an escape room and afterwards to a free picnic dinner. And so I said, yeah, I'm in.
Air conditioned, and then
So Sarah, how did you like it?
it was great.
We didn't really make the escape room, but maybe we would have needed like 5 minutes more. So, how did you actually get this grant?
How did I get it?
Yeah.
People in my program, they put in a nomination for me when I was applying to grad school here, and then they went through a whole process of going through the applications, and somehow I was chosen. That's it.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's why you don't have to
I don't have to teach this semester or next semester, but I would like to actually. I like teaching. Just want to make that known.
So thanks for taking me with you.
Yeah, glad you can come.
Something for your mind, mind, mind. Something for your mind, mind, mind. Something for your mind.
정신을 집어넣으세요. 마음에 어떤 것 필요합니까?
Something for your
정신을 집어넣으세요.
mind.
정신을 집어넣으세요.
Something for your